Hey guys, what's going on? We got some big news coming from the War Within beta or alpha or whatever it is. Anyways, Shamans had their Stormbringer talents released, so thank God we finally got something. And there's also some other news. Enhancement, as you can see here, is getting a huge talent rework situation here. A lot of things are changing positions and stuff like that. So that's super exciting. Although the talent tree does not show them yet, they are to come, or at least they might be on alpha. Unfortunately, I don't have access to alpha, but basically this video is going to go over the new Stormbringer talents. So yeah, so let's get into that. So I've already gone over these once by myself, and I have to say, oh my god, that went really freaking close. Oh shit. What happened here? There we go. So these are really exciting. I like the concept of what it is, and everything seems to be tying in together nicely with the way it sounded like it was going to happen. Although I didn't expect it, I thought it was going to be more Ascendance, but honestly, I really like the way it is. So let's get into this. So the first off, we got Tempest. Every 40 Maelstrom weapon stacks we spend, our next Lightning Bolt turns into Tempest. And basically, it's just a glorified lightning bolt, basically doing single target damage and AoE damage as well, all nature. And the reason why I really like this is because it doesn't give us another button to use. And the reason why I like that is because I feel like enhancement is already quite bloated. Although Storm build is very simple and easy to follow. We do have a lot of totems to deal with and stuff like that, other external buttons and utilities that we have to use. So it definitely feels like we have a lot of hotkeys. But this is very focused on the Storm build. And I think that's great to see. The fact that it's just turning Lightning Bolt into a more powerful version of itself is great. So yeah, but anyways, on to the next one. We're going to go from left to right and then down. Unlimited power. This would have been seen on the first season of Dragonflight tier set. Spending Maelstrom grants you 3% haste. Stacking. Gaining a new stack does not refresh the duration. It's very interesting the way this is worded. So my question is going to be, does it apply 3% haste per stack of Maelstrom weapon we use? Or is it just when we spend Maelstrom in general, we gain 3% haste? Because if it is like 3%, whether you spend 5 or 10, then it's a little weird in my opinion. The reason why is because we want to spend as much Maelstrom as we can into one spell, right? Because we want it hitting as hard as possible. So if we're having to spend like 5, let's say we don't take our overflowing Maelstrom, maybe they're removing this, I don't know. Are we going to be losing out on a bunch of haste because we have it, or are we gaining haste per Maelstrom stack? I don't know yet. Again, some people have probably already tried this on the alpha, so maybe they know. As for me, I have no idea, but I really like the idea of what's going on here, giving a bit of haste, applying it when we spend Maelstrom, allowing us to generate Maelstrom faster. I really like this. Tempest, this one is quite interesting to me. Now you have to remember this is also applying to Elemental as well. Increases the critical strike chance of all your nature spells by 10%, and increasing the damage of nature spells, the critical effect of them, by 5%. This is quite interesting. As an agility type class, we do crit quite a bit. And a lot of our damage, especially if you're in the storm build, is nature damage. And when you use crash lightning, chain lightning and all that, you gain a bit of extra damage. So I really like this passive, just a general nature damage increase. I wonder if this applies to Elemental Blast or not. But then again, if Elemental Blast and Tempest Strikes are staying on the same talent point, who knows what's going to happen there. The next one is Shocking Grasp. This one is amazing in my opinion, specifically for PvP. And the reason why is our only slow currently is Frost Shock, which is quite lame in my opinion. But having our nature critical strikes reduce their movement speed is a bit RNG related, but also quite kind of nice too. You can use Crash Lightning's bonus effect, right? So when you use Crash Lightning, your spells deal a cone of nature damage. So when those crit, it's slow. So it's kind of like crippling poison in effect for rogues, right? With just a bit of an RNG chance to happen. So I kind of like this. It's a nice little passive, gives us a little bit of a slow. We don't have to put down Earthbind Totem to slow things. We can just rely on our AoE. That is that I really like this talent. Supercharge. This one is super interesting to me. Lightning bolt and lightning or chain lightning have a chance to generate 3 maelstrom weapons when used. This is quite crazy. The reason why is if you are in the storm build, right, you already have access to static accumulation. This basically gives us a 20% chance to refund all maelstrom we spent on lightning bolt and chain lightning. And while we're already ascended, we're generating a bunch of maelstrom weapon already. So we're going to be like, we're going to have crazy amounts of maelstrom weapon generation here. You could spend 5 and generate 8. So it's a bit interesting. Obviously, the RNG factor does apply, but I don't know. We'll have to see how that lines up and how Blizzard wants to change enhancement in the future. So with the amount of reworks to the talent tree coming, it's kind of crazy. And if you already noticed something on the enhanced tree, I will go over that later. It's super exciting. But after this, I forgot to bring it up at the start, so we'll bring it up afterwards. The second one down here is the talent choice. So we have 2 options. One is more single target, one is for AoE. Although I'm not sure how much of a difference it's going to make. When Tempest only strikes 1 target, you gain 3 stacks of Maelstrom, basically guaranteed to refund. And then Arc Discharge, we have when Tempest strikes more than 1 target, we gain Chain Lightning at a 75% increased effect. Kind of similar to our Season 2 tier set in Dragonflight, but no refund, just making them free. I kind of like that, but it is also kind of weird. Now, when they say instant cast, I'm going to assume that we won't be spending Maelstrom on them, hopefully not, but we might also still have a chance to supercharge generating that 3 Maelstrom weapon stacks. So we'll have to see what happens there. But honestly, I really like the choice node here. You either choose pure single target, generating a bit of Maelstrom weapon when you get a Tempest charge, and then AoE where you just spam Chain Lightning. I really like that. On to the next one, we have Rolling Thunder. This is basically just like our current tier set, where we summon a Feral Spirit when we use Tempest. Now, very interesting wording here. Tempest summons a nature feral spirit for until canceled. I'm going to assume it's going to be the regular duration of, I think it's 15 seconds or 20 seconds, something like that. So don't expect it to be too long. Again, I don't have alpha, so maybe somebody on alpha has already messed around with this. So hopefully they have some insight. I really wish I got alpha, but I will be on the open beta or whatever, or maybe beta if I get it. Volt. Wow, I cannot say it. Voltaic Surge. Yeah, who cares? I'm not good. Anyways, Crash Lightning, Chain Lightning, and Earthquake do increased damage. This is kind of nice because it just gives us that extra AoE. You know, just a bit of bonus to AoE damage and not too much affecting single targets. So, it's kind of a nice little passive. Here is the interesting part of everything. Gain the effects of Lightning Rod. So when you use Tempest, your target is going to be targeted by Lightning Rod. And if you're familiar with AoE, it works the exact same. All nature damage you do... Wait, Lightning Rods take... Aw, it's different than I thought it was going to be. I thought it said all nature damage. So Lightning Rod takes 20% of all damage you deal with Lightning Bolt and Chain Lightning. This is going to mesh really well with Arc Discharge. I originally thought it was going to be all nature damage that you do, so I thought Crash Lightning might have benefited from it, but as I'm reading it again, it seems like that is not the case. So, but it's still a great thing to have. It just gives that extra benefit of damage, and it'll be interesting to see how it works in the future. On to the next one, we have a bit of a defensive choice. So we have Tempest deal causes the target to deal 10% less damage to you. I really like this. Surging Currents. After using Tempest, your next Chain Healer healing surges instant cast and consume no mana. That one I'm a bit on the fence about. Um, instant cast, consume no mana. Does it consume Maelstrom to make it more powerful, or does it work differently? It's kind of an interesting choice. I think most people are just going to go with Nature's Protection, just getting that 10% less damage taken. Surging Currents could probably use a bit of a rework. And now we go on to the most interesting part here is the final tier bonus, or not tier bonus, but talent bonus. Awakening Storm. Storm Strike, Lightning Bolt, and Chain Lightning have a chance to strike your target for 50% spell power as nature damage. Every 3 times this occurs, your next Lightning Bolt is replaced by Tempest. This is crazy because it says 5 procs per minute. So that could be quite a lot, especially when you mix it with Thorm's Invocation, causing your Wind Strikes to do that as well. I'm going to assume anything that involves Storm Strike also involves Wind Strike. So, yeah, this is going to be extremely powerful. I'm hoping people have already tested this on the alpha, and I'm going to take a look after this and see what people say. It's definitely I really like this version, this hero talent for both PvP and PvE. It's going to apply a lot of damage and also allow a bit of funnel damage too, while not really taking away from that nature kind of thing as well. So it's not giving us too many buttons to press. It's giving us some solid passives, a bit of AoE, a bit of single target, a bit of defense. Although the defense is a little bit lackluster, it you know what, we'll take what we can get anywhere. So anyways, on to the biggest news of the enhancement talent tree. If you didn't notice, Wind Fury has been turned into a baseline effect. That is massive. Now, they're still messing around with the tree, both Elemental Blast, Pharaoh Lunge, I think Wind Fury Totem as well, and some other key talents are getting moved, right? So we have Pharaoh Lunge, Storm Blast, Sundering, Tempest Strikes, Wind Fury, and Elemental Blast all moving. So here, here, and we have Tempest Strikes and Elemental Blast both moving. Whether these will be still one or split up, who knows? That's super exciting to me. But yeah, I didn't notice anything over in the class tree, so that's kind of lame anyways. Hopefully that gets an entire rework. But yeah, Wind Fury turning baseline is super big. We no longer have to waste a point, and we're getting a bit of a defensive node. Now, this might change later on, who knows? But yeah, that's super exciting. But anyways, guys, that is it for the video. Let me know your thoughts on the Stormbringer hero talents, because I am super excited to try them out, as well as super excited to what's to come with the enhancement tree as well. But anyways, yeah, that is it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Laters!